All right. Monday, Feb 6, 2017. Going over the charts here real quick. Weekly chart, 6A, Aussie dollar. Basically, people are talking about the weakness in the dollar, so which means that we need to take a little off of the dollar. On the short side, I'm still looking for a little bit more pullback, but I think we're going to probably mark more time on here. So look for the dollar to be stronger this morning. That's why I said take a little bit off of gold at 12.31. Support 12.24. Let's see here. These are weeklies since we're at the beginning of the week kind of thing. ADX is turning up on here and the money flow, we're at the happy place. I kind of want to just stand aside on the Aussie dollar for now. British pound, I believe the British pound and the Mexican peso are going to be your better bets for 2017 on the long side. Look to support, down around 23.89 on the futures here. I'm going to assume that this is going to hold at a 30-plus year low. That's how I'm looking at it here. All right. And a swing higher. That's kind of how I'm looking at it here. This would probably be a good accumulation today. What do we have here? 124. Okay, so accumulation on the British pound on weakness here is how I'm gonna lean here. US dragon. Oh yeah. All right, so more buys on the British pound on weakness. It's kind of how I'm doing. All right, British pound, Canadian dollar to go along with oil. Oil's beginning to roll over some here. Canadian dollar's coming back. I'm leaning over the next couple of years. The Canadian dollar goes up to about 85, but on the low end back below 68 actually over the next 5-year period. So that kind of waddled its way with oil and everything, but they'll have their own issues with importing inflation and things of that nature. Same type of roadmap of like 85 to 1990 on the Canadian dollar, because eventually oil will bottom, hopefully in the teens, and then Canadian dollar will then bottom too, and then start the secular cycle again. That's not going to be for a while. Euro, like the euro, it is. I'm basically looking for 109 here. I guess we might have to go down to 106.5 here on the support. I was looking for 109. We got to about 108. 109, 111, 112 kind of thing. So I'm looking for an extended sideways to down right now on the dollar. I don't think if it turns from here, then we're going to have to dump bonds and stuff, and we're not going to see the C waves there. All right, euro. Oh, that's a nice spot right in there. Tiffany's having a problem because of the strong US dollar. I don't know, drop your price. 6J. Like the 6J for the unwinding of the carry trade, so more higher here. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so carry through on the upside here, you're going to see gold go up, bonds go up, and this is the yen go up. Okay. So it's unwinding of the carry trade. Still has a little more room to run here. Banged up against. Do I have anything on here? No. Let me take a look at this though. All right, so I have, okay, so this is US dollar. US dollar, yen. Okay, so we're getting unwinding, I think, of the carry trade here with bonds going higher, US debt going higher, gold going higher, and Japanese yen. More on the downside, I'd like to see 109 on here in the US yen. It does look like if it does break down one more time, it'll be a precipitous decline from here. And that should affect equities. Lots of sideways in equities. Whatever happens in the Russell is going to be a long move on here. Mexican peso, like I said before with the British pound, I think the Mexican peso on the long side, Mexican peso gets stronger. Some of the better moves in 2017. Looking for a pullback on here. You're going to have some deep pockets on this thing. But the deal also with it is, depending upon your broker, you're getting a carry on here, interest rate. Okay, you're going against it. You're basically shorting the US dollar Mexican. And remember, say it's paying, we'll say 8%. Okay, and you have 50-to-1 leverage. You're not getting paid on, if you give your broker, say 10 grand, and he gives you 50-to-1 leverage, it's 500,000, and you're getting your 8% annually on the 500,000. So that's a 400% return just on the carry alone. Consult your broker, read your prospectus, blah, blah, blah. But that's why I'm going after the Mexican peso, because if you short this pair, you get a fat interest rate on here. You're not playing with 1%, 2%. And America offers only 50-to-1 leverage. You can go offshore overseas and get a lot more. But the Mexican peso, you're going to have to be able to hang on to this. Even if it chops, I mean, mentally, if it chops sideways for 3 weeks, sideways to up, kind of like what corn looks like, or cotton. All right, so it's Mexican peso. Kiwi, just short side of this thing. I think we're going to have the dollar will probably get at least one day today's worth of bump for one off on the dollar. Oil pressed on Friday, but we're coming inside. This is Brent. This is also weekly here. I'm looking at weekly charts. All right, so on the oil, okay, we're down to the first level. I'm going to kind of go out and say that Friday's action was the high. I've changed the charts around. The yellow is money flow. The blue is ADX, so this is reset for some sort of trending action. Probably gets triggered if we take out 56 here on Brent. And then I have the little arrows up here for RSI now. They're set at 10 and then 80-20. Okay, so instead of having another freaking line on here, I got arrows. So when if it crosses through 80 and comes back through 80, then up pops an arrow. All right. So it's like, okay, and for me, I've done this long enough that when you begin to see something like this, where you expect an arrow and it's not there, that means it's divergence. So you want to get really close to the price here. So I'm leaning here that this is it for oil for now. If it cracks through here, then we drop another buck here on Brent, like we have on American. All right, so American oil. Same type of deal. We're having a stronger dollar this morning. So 53.5 here. I'm covering oil here. All right, I need to drop those down to here. Let's play greedy today. I'm going to say that Friday's action in oil is it. The money came out of it here, so that's the only downside to the bears, is that if this reverses here, then you can have money start coming back in and press it higher. I'm gonna state that we'll call it a head and shoulders from Friday's action. for Thursday, Friday, I guess. There was a symmetrical triangle here, and usually that's a continuation pattern, so it would be a continuation to the upside. But now we're getting more of a sideways channel on here. We need to get it in a little bit deeper, though. Okay, so I need something here for reverse on crude. All right, crude oil. Next one up should be the dollar, right? Dollar, what do you know? It's the dollar. Okay, so on the dollar here, these are weeklies. All right, so we're starting off inside halfway up the previous week on the dollar. The banana heads on TV are talking about being short the dollar now, which of course we know that they're, me as a psychologist, kind of trader guy, if they want to get short, well, it's time to take some of the short off. All right. I am long some of these here for down in here, but I don't think we're going to clear, say, 101. I think we're going to kind of bounce around and mark some time. I'd like to see it come a little deeper though here. Week numbers, I don't know. We have a federal holiday, short month, whatever. I don't know how they spin it. Trump can just say the economy sucks, right? It just sucks. It sucks. And you talk to your niece and she has 3 jobs. All right. So yeah, 3 jobs and still not 40 hours. Okay, so all right, so money flows out of this in the dollar here. So if you do go fishing, you're gonna have to hold, if it pulls back a little bit farther. The deal here is you're gonna have to go out to like June. That's how we're gonna have to start looking at some of this stuff, is moving out to June. Perfect. Resistance about 1.5 or 150. All right. So basically, since Europe this morning and Bloomberg, they've wrangled 6-foot blondes through here to talk about how weak the dollar is, and it's the worst string of losses in the dollar since 2015. So they don't look at the chart before they get on TV. All right, so on the dollar, you want to be a dip buyer, but I prefer 97 type of deal. All right, so that brings us up to stocks. All right, so this is a weekly. Stocks aren't liking it this morning. Also, this will also help out the swing on debt futures. Still looking for follow through on the back end. 10s and 30s, but it's the front end that's the one that's moving, which is of course the most sensitive anyway. That's the end that we're jacking. I looked at euro dollars for September 18, so want to kind of look that way at shorting euro dollars. Remember, those are the 5 million contracts, face value with $300 margin, but that's where all the pain's going to be. If we get rates back to 6%, that's what I'm aiming for at 94, and we're at 99. That's a few shekels. It's a good margin return. We have to handle times like this. All right, so S&Ps, I'll call it a double top for now. The money's in here. You definitely see it in the NASDAQ, and then the Russell, the same type of thing. The sideways, though, we know about sideways. When something goes sideways for an extended period of time, a trend breaks out, okay? So we have sideways, tried to break lower, didn't do it, tried to break higher, didn't do it, narrowed up, symmetrical triangle, poked on through about half. I'll say 22.82 down here, the bestest for the bulls. It comes down, it's like tug of war. You have 199 longs and 200 sellers. That's all it took. It took one, the straw that broke the camel's back. It's trying it again. They're going to have to try and they can't afford another failure up here. ADX is reset. This is on a daily basis. And then I'll run through the other ones real quick here. You can definitely see it money flow in some of these others. All right, here's the NASDAQ. All right, so it was the strongest mover. The ADX turned on. You got an RSI sell signal on here, more than halfway on here. It's a daily, intraday. We'll call it a multiple double top again too. ADX is turning up. It did it actually from the turn. You can see the money flow here. Where are we at? Second week? Second. second week. All right, so here on the NASDAQ, we'll say 21.25. We talked about 21.50 for some support, and that's not holding worth a darn. This is going to have to be it for the plug, 21.25 for the NASDAQ. All right. All right, NASDAQ, Dow futures. Dow futures, we're playing by hundreds now, so it'd be 2220 is on the upper end. 21, 20, 100, 20, 200. Those are the upper ends here, kind of deal. Found some support right here. This is pivot for today. Oh yeah, here's the bodies. Whoops. They're in the Dow futures, so they're going to get choked off this morning. Oh, you bugger. Come on. All right, so let's start this way again. All right, so we're back to about halfway back. It's fine. This is pivot areas here, okay? But when you look at like the 2 hour, they came running in here. Here's the money flow. Money flow is higher than previous. This is just a 2 hour chart. So the money was jammed. They're like, oh yeah, not a problem. It fills the gap and this immediately rolls over. So we're going to have to see how this plays out this morning, because basically we have a high in at a gap and we are opening up at support. So we have to see with what happens here. Remember, I talked about previous videos over the weekend about earnings. When earnings are over with, what's going to move this stuff? Is Apple going to pull another 16 points out of its butt in the rest of February and March? So I'm leaning, though, that we roll over through once most of the earnings are taken care of. We roll over in Feb, and then when it comes time to roll over to June contracts, we roll over at the low and then probably try and swing it higher. Depends upon if we get out of this range or not. And we've already worked pretty good distance sideways since beginning of December. It's been sideways. So whatever happens here is going to be grandiose, I'm, of course, hoping that it's to the downside. We run into debt, so I can get some different angles on other positions, short oil and stuff, gold and that, the other commodities into the recession. All right, so, here's the sideways action, sideways action, sideways action, get a big one of sideways action. So that's what we're looking at here. And then Russell, much more on the sideways action. Definitely. These are the small caps. This is just like the mid caps and stuff. Tried to poke its way higher. Just it's not doing it here either. Gave it a gusto. So we're back to the whole thing again here. It's basically if Russell clears 1378, you have to go with it higher, and then it finally musters something. But like I said, all the rest of them are. They're all each individually in their own little world here. Well, we're definitely something's going to have to have happen here. Here you have a lower low on the Dow again. And just draw your lazy trend line underneath here. Little dots will do. Go back to the NASDAQ here. This is going to be the one that's going to be most susceptible here. I mean, you have, Apple going to come off and Amazon's going to come off, and right there, that should do the trick. Right under there, 31, that 29, 51, 29, that works. Odd numbers, and then just let it fall. What was I going to look at? I have this here. Oops, no. Apple could be actually a exhaustion gap too. There's Apple. I think it's done for Apple. Whatever you expect it to do, double, Google, that left it high in the clouds. Amazon, they're building warehouses and stuff like something fierce. How are they going to have deal with their real estate when the next recession comes? Fell apart. Facebook fell apart. These are all just, I talked about individual equity option call buying but they were buying puts on the indexes. So you're having hedging going on. They'll try and party for the earnings, but they don't like it. Ugh, that's an ugly pattern. And then I did some earnings for this week, and a lot of the low price ones, 4-letter ones, are all swing higher. I got about 3 pages into it, so I'll keep the rest. More than enough. I don't think many of you are making 80 trades a day. So, all right. So back to the charts. Whoops. No, I don't want that. Charts. All right. Gold. While we're looking at it here, come on, you. All right. Running into 31 is an area where there was the old resistance type of thing here. That was another target. It's right here. Okay. All right, so here's the resistance level. It did break out. Okay, ADX is turning up on here. This is a 2-hour. They're chasing after it. The next level is like 36, and then we're up to the 47 to 55 area. Mine, I looked at as basically kind of like peel some off here. You have to support 24. I think the level is 24 area in here. Come on, you. Yeah, you look like funk. Basically, you're trying to support the breakout again. Okay, so you came up. Here's a look. Take some off. Support. I think it was around 24. I said, which was the breakout. A little bit deep. 24. It's good enough. Hopefully the kids will support it here at 26. Little dots here. This would be your ATR or SAR dots. This is an hourly chart, so basically it's still pointing. This would be your trailing stop. In theory, 26 for right now. I just said, take a third off here. If you want to come back and buy it, put the third back on down here. That's fine. I'm just looking at it as we're going to see some shucking and jiving in the dollar for a day or two here. And it's, I'm not saying that you can't have the dollar go up and gold go up, each market their own, but it can happen. Which would mean that'd be on the flip side, somebody else is having some serious issues, right? Yeah, dollar's up and gold's up, huh? Guess who's on the opposite side of if you thought that was twice as goofy, it's twice as goofy to the other side of those too. Why is my currency down and gold down? Well, it can turn into something a little bit bigger because it's not logical. It's going to mess with the algos and stuff. Eject. All right, money's in here and stuff. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. For gold. Basically, you're just trailing the thing up for right now. The breakout was 17 or something. At the breakout, trail it up to here kind of thing. I'm looking just to peel because of that $35 gain was about 65 or something up in here. Where are we? Daily, right? Yeah, it's up in here. This was I wrote, $35 more or something to go to 65. It's kind of like peel. I'm just taking some off because of the dollar today. That's basically it. Like I said, I'm bearish gold. This is just a bear market rally. Gold goes up $300 or 200. What are we at? Gold goes up another $300. It's still bearish to me. That's just a counter-cyclical move in a secular bear market. Crazy when you have to look out 10 and 20 years forward, huh? That's a lot of golf, Bob. All right, rock and roll. So, just follow it behind it. This is secondary breakout. I'm treating this as like a C wave. Wherever it stops, that should do the trick. Then we go back into shorting bonds, back into buying dollars, back into trying to jam the economy into recession. Here are the euro dollars, but I was looking out. Here's December of 18. The margin, I think, is still good on these puggy buggers here. Where are we? Short. What's the margin on December 18? 480. Well, just put in $1 million grand to put that much in there. Remember, these are fat contracts. But what I'm looking for is that you find some sort of short in here. You can get started now and deep pocket the deal. But this is December of 18. All right, so something up in here like 98.20, that would mean a whopping 1.879% interest rate in euros overseas. But I'm looking for something down here, right? We're talking shorting all the way down to here, right? That's 96. So that's what, that's $5,000, 2 points, right? 98 to 96. That's 2 points. That's $5,000. That's 10 times your money. Yeah, I'll lean that way. But remember, this is for educational use only, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And this only makes what, 4% front end? That'll be enough to jam the economy. 3.75. This is 3.7. You make 900% on your money if it rolls over, and all we have is 3.75 on the front end. Lot of time to go, a lot of time and a lot of place. You know, when you go from zero, you know, here is 0.009 whatever for interest rates, less than 1%. You know, there's a lot of room on the other side, especially if you go back and look through the last 40 years. But that's a big winner. That's a big money. This is the whole raising interest rates. This is where it's at. This, T-bills, and Fed fund futures, and 2s and 5s predominantly. But this is it. This is it. Euro dollars. Lots of liquidity. But right now we're getting kind of a bounce on here. Body's jammed in here though. A lot of people want to hide out in cash for some reason. I wonder why. All right, copper, stronger dollar. This looks like to be an oddball today. Like I said, I'd rather play it to 160 than to 320. Copper. Natty gas. All right, so Natty. I'm looking for there's a gap fill. I'm trying to buy below here. 274, 250. It gets as deep as 220 down here too. Bunch of lines. We shall see. You know, for right now, it opened lower, traded higher, and came back down. So I'm looking for all of this money flow to come out of this. Just wash it, you know, and then look for the kids selling off the winter. Oh, the winter didn't show up, and then they dump it all into a drought. And then, oh, well, I didn't know we buy natty gas in July. No, you don't buy natty gas in July, you moron. You buy July natty gas in February. What an idiot. That's why they call these futures. Good Lord. Morons. Just take their money, take it and run. Nikkei futures, I added some more shorts on this one here. I like it on the short side, 16.7 or something. What's this here? 18.2. And I think I was looking for the Dow to do the same thing here. So shorts on world equities. Back to the NASDAQ real quick. You stupid hammer. Yeah, but that's usually a topping pattern though too. It spent all its energy getting all the way back up. See, we got it to unchanged. Yeah, well, you had to use your buying in the future currently. Yeah, I mean, you can't buy another contract, you know, mathematically until it clears. You know, people who add to their, add to the breakout, 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 and you spend all your energy supporting the dip. I think I got to go in and support the dip this time. And you have X amount of thousands of dollars extra, and you buy some contracts. You're like, okay, you guys get it through here. I'll take all these I added and all of this here, and let's just punch it through. And then all of a sudden you come through here and you're like, puke. You have to puke everything up. Yeah, that's right. Adding to winners. Buy the breakout, 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 blah, 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 blah. Buy the dip. Oh, I better come in here and support this. They're praying that they get through here because then they're going to get the breakout on nine contracts. And here they lose this here. Then they have to puke everything up. Puke it. That's how it works, psychology. Sugar. I need to see some follow through here. These are weeklies monies in here, though. I'll treat it as a head and shoulders for now, but I'll still respect the uptrend in it. I'll just treat it as a sideways pattern in sugar. Watch the deferred contracts, October forward. Silver, all right, silver just same as gold, kind of stalling out here. Like I said, I'd rather buy silver at $5 than dink around here for $1 or $2 or whatever higher. Tell you the truth, it's not right now my cup of tea. Oh, that looks kind of bear flaggish. Silver. Where are we at? 1760. Yeah, I'd peel a little off on here too. $50 a penny. You'd peel off a little too, because your stop down here is what, 40 cents. That's $2,000. Take your $2,000 or whatever. And, you know, mathematically, that's how it works. Technically, that's where you'd want to actually buy in, support it here. They'd supported it once before. You know, support the retest, buy the dip. You know, and they get it 70% of the way, and they're like, I've had enough. Little dots, 30-minute. What do we have? Where little dots stay? Little dots. Next target is 1778. How about 1776? That'll work for us. That'll be a couple pennies higher on the downside. Just dump it. That's how I look at it. All right, that's on silver. Russell, we've looked at it. Something's going to give. Something sideways is going to give to a decent trending move. One of those deals. Just watch it. They may get a running start on these two. We're opening them up at pivot. They may get a running start to swing higher. I'll have to go. I think Disney's earnings tomorrow. That kind of thing. They try to come up. They find the sellers, you know, the shorters. They come down, and then they give it a, you know, the locals or whatever start buying it up on the open. What are we talking? Quarter after? Okay. Here we're back to bonds and stuff. Weekly ABC pattern. That's the greedy. Look at, you know, what is that? Does that work? I guess those work. 163, 167. What's this here? 164 in these ultras, 165. Just looking for places to short, most likely June contracts. I'd probably focus on those euro dollars and have to think around with paper for, you know, bonds. VIX looks like it's turning up here. Of course it's going to turn up, Kev. Nobody wants it. And it's loaded, I hear. The pros are short this thing something fierce. Well, they're just arbitrage. They dump the VIX futures all day long and go after the paper, you know, all the derivatives. That's why I get those bloats in open interest as expiration comes through with ES futures and S&Ps, because they're hedging with SPYs or against, you know, the little contract and big contract. Arbitrage. Picking up nickels and dimes in front of the steamroller. Oh boy. All right, so VIX here was talked about getting long this thing, right? Somehow, one way or another. Aiming for the 20s on here. What's this? 14 and a half. Where's that daily? I said 26 to some subscribers. I threw it up even 30s to the public. I think I just wanted to see what kind of attention I'd get. I didn't get any. So they're not even, they don't, the bulls don't even have enough strength to shove it in my face. Okay, this is going to be just a quiet walk up. All right, so last one we played was 22 to 24. All right, here's 20-ish area. Like I said, the little blue arrows are stochastics, 20, 80, and 10 period. Look at that. There's no money in here. This is going to be fun. What's VIX at? 1269. All right. Back to the Dow again. Oh, you guys. That doesn't look like it's going to run, though. Bonds again. All right. Corn. weekly corn. Looks like a flag going on here. Narrow. Corn's narrowing. Dollar's up today, so this stuff should come out, but it's Monday. We can issue export credits and stuff. Buy our shit. Here you go, Nigeria. Buy our stuff. Credits. All right. That looks pretty good. What about our orbs? Orbs. Where am I? Any day now, computer. Thanks, Bob. Rock and roll. Have a fun swing. Swing hard, swing far. All right, we'll quit this too. No golf, dude. What about a crab cake or something? Then don't tell me that you're allergic to shellfish. What about going to Gulfstream, Bob? Let's get in the car and go. Let's get in the car and go to Gulfstream. What? Yeah, that's what I'd do. On my way to Gulfstream. Okay, rock and roll. You happy about the football game? Where are you? Where's the Bobster? Football. There was a game. Yeah. 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 One game. Football game. It's all good. Ah. Yeah, it was a good. What the best part about it for me, Bob, was the psychology of it all. When you could just see everybody and all of a sudden I saw Brady just walk back on the field when they were down by 14, and you just knew that he had him hooked, and that's just it. That's exactly how it goes. They're just the same thing in the markets. The kids are jumping up and down, thinking it's in the bag, and before you know it, it's over with. Same type of deal. That's what I'm looking for. Got drunk. Yeah, I know. I should have missed my opportunity, but hey, I'll go do that. So rock and roll. All right. Well then, Bob, have yourself a good one here. I have to go fetch some coffee and then talk to some other folk. Yeah, and I'll do this for more often in the morning and stuff. I just figured it's easier if you guys are up. You can watch it, and then I don't have to do the video thing and whatever, hit you up. And then if you have questions or whatever, you can send me symbols or something. It's easier. It's interactive. It's fun. I don't have to talk to the windows. The screen. Talk to myself. Cool. All right. Gaga. Yeah. Yeah, no, she's I wish she was a few inches taller, though. Oh, but she's talented. And I think she just got out of a long relationship, too. And she's not afraid of heights, it looks like. I don't know. I'd probably raid her closet. Are those sequins? I'm just joking. Stop it, Sally. Oh my God, Kev, stop. Why are you not on stage, Kev? What are you doing? Yeah, you could sit in a hotel room and do this before you go on stage at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock. How about 5? How about 3:30? It's the blue-haired comedy hour. I guess I could call myself Geezer now, huh? Yeah, I can roll. All is good. All right, so where are we at? 20 after? Okay, so I should actually... We ran through this. Bob's taken off. I should actually just make up a couple of windows right now since the day is going. Zeno! Hello? Are you in there? All right, give me a second here to put up some screens. All right, your crude oil. Let's hear about your crude oil. Did you buy the 2 contracts? What am I at? Okay, you didn't. So you're short. So okay, so it did come back. All right. So our deal here is we got to get you back onto the swing of things here. We need personally, we need to get you off of you chasing those little four-letter things all day long. I know exactly. I trust. I know it. I've been there. Okay. The deal is, how much do you want? How much do you need to make a month? That kind of thing. You know. So let me go get a coffee here. Where am I at? That's the dollar. All right, give me a second here. I'll be right back here.